And thank you for joining this meeting. It is 4 o'clock, and I would like to open the annual tuition and fee hearing for Middlesex College. On February 5th, 2026, advance written notice of this meeting emailed to the Home News, Tribune, and the Star Ledger. Mr. Hoffman, would you please swear Dr. McCormick in?
Just raise your right hand. Dr. McCormick, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
He's sworn in, Mr. Chairman.
Dr. McCormick, thank you, Mr. Hoffman. Dr. McCormick, do you have a presentation, and was it prepared by you under your supervision?
Chairman Raja, I do have a presentation that was prepared by me and members of the executive team.
Thank you.
The notice of the tuition and fees hearing as MC1 and the presentation by Dr. McCormick as MC2.
So next slide, please, Joe. I want to start at the thing, which is our college mission. Next slide. And for those of you who haven't seen it in a while, there it is on the screen. I won't read it to you. This annual tradition of having a hearing about any proposed adjustments to tuition and fees for the coming academic year is required by statute, but it's also good practice to let members of our community know why we're adjusting fees, which ones. And so this presentation is about what's going to be proposed at tomorrow's board meeting to adjust tuition and fees for the 26-27 academic year. Next slide. So the college has multiple missions, and these are two categories of the kinds of things we do. Obviously, when you think about community colleges or colleges in general, you think about getting a degree, getting coursework toward a degree. But among that other connected categories there on the left-hand column, sometimes students in high school take college credit bearing, also get high school credit for those. That's called dual enrollment. They're getting dual credit for the work, both for the high school, completion of a high school diploma, for any college credit. We transcripts. And then some students come and go, students, because they want to either get ahead or behind, make up for work that they're behind at another institution. They don't intend to get a degree here with us. And on the right-hand side, these are the kind of things you don't think about in terms of what community colleges do. We are full-purpose, comprehensive community colleges, and so we serve the community in many other ways, from lifelong learning at the age of 3 up to the age of 99. So we have an early child care learning center for young people. We have summer camp. We have activities for high school students to do all kinds of prep in terms of, including for the SAT. And we certainly have courses that are non-credit bearing in a variety of areas, both for workforce development, getting a credential, for training for a career, or just for lifelong learning, learning a language or how to cook. Next slide. This is the comparison chart from the current fiscal year, 2025-2026, and it's what the base tuition fee is per credit at each of the 18 county colleges in New Jersey. And you see there on the far left, the lowest of the 18 is Middlesex College in yellow. We currently charge the lowest base tuition of any of our sister institutions in the state. Next slide. This is a comparison chart for the current fiscal year 25-26, that if you start at Middlesex College on the left, and that's the green bar on the lower left. That's the tuition for the first 2 years of a bachelor's degree. And then if you went on to Rutgers and got the third and fourth year, second 2 years of the courses for a bachelor's degree, what it costs just for tuition at Rutgers, compared to on the right, if you got all 4 years of the courses at Rutgers. And this does not include room and board. And many students, obviously, they go to Rutgers or other 4 institutions, they're residential, and they pay for housing and food. And so again, the savings is pretty dramatic, starting at a 2-year college and getting your 4 degree with a public 4-year institution in New Jersey versus taking all 4 years public institution. Next slide. So how do we develop our framework for the proposed operating budget for 26-27? Next slide. This is a snapshot of what the different components would be for the projected expenses. And as you can see, the largest share in the blue is the employees, the salaries for full-time employees and the hourly wages for part-time employees. And we hire a lot of people to do lots of different things. but also connected to that, pension payments for those who get them, insurance for those who get them, and other employee benefits. So 80+% of our budget for personnel, and that's how it is at most colleges. We're primarily a human-driven enterprise. And then there's utilities, and then all kinds of other operating expenses. Think things like frogs for science classes and equipment and technology for teaching and learning. Next slide. These are the different component revenue sources projected for the fiscal year 26-27. Starting from the lowest, the state of New Jersey supplies about 14% of our annual revenue. The county of Middlesex supplies about 20% of the revenue. And then most of the rest is through tuition and fees by students in credit-bearing courses. A little bit there on the left in the yellow for non-credit workforce courses, and on the right for other sorts of revenue. Think things like grants. And also we offer a few things where we charge a fee. People who come get services at the dental hygiene clinic, other things, that's the 4% in the orange. Next slide. So we do our best to keep the costs low so that we can keep the overall cost for students low. These are some of the ways we do that. We maintain a discounted tuition rate for recommending again this coming year for any resident of Middlesex County who's in high school to take any of our credit-bearing courses at the high school or at the college or online. And that's very low cost, and that again discounts and is considered in keeping that cost low. We allow students to try to get into college-bearing courses in English and math right away through our co-requisite system, obviating the need for any kind of developmental remedial courses to accelerate the instruction through English and math right into college level courses. Our faculty have done a great job in looking at materials that either are free or are low cost. And in some cases, the college bears the cost. Many of these are what are called open educational resources, where they've been vetted and they're available through different systems at no cost to students. We also use grants, leverage them where we can, and partnerships with other institutions to keep our costs overall as low as we can. Next slide. We also see that no matter what we do, there's always going to be things that increase, often through no control of ours. So you think about things like new minimum wage laws by the state, so that we have to keep in compliance with those. Ongoing needs for technology, new technology, and upgrades to current technology. Utilities costs, insurance costs, some things increase on their own. And we do what we can, where we can, to also continue to increase our retention and graduation rates so that more students finish the degree and go on and get a job and or transfer to a foreign institution. Next slide. So in addition to the standard tuition, which you saw earlier on, we also charge, as most colleges do, 3 standard fees that are per credit for every course a student takes. So they are the general fee. You see the description on the left what that encompasses. There's a tech fee, and there's a student services fee. And that way, when students participate in student activities, think athletics, think student clubs, think student trips, there's a pot of money that all students have paid that we can access to support those opportunities for extracurricular learning. Next slide. So these are the proposals coming up for the 26-27 academic year that would impact tuition and fees. Next slide. So for tuition, we're proposing to the board for tomorrow's board meeting that we increase in-county tuition rate. That is the tuition paid by in-county, Middlesex County residents, by $2 per credit to go up to $128 per credit. And as you saw earlier, we're the lowest tuition base of all the 18 county colleges, back to any college in New Jersey. We will change the out-of-county tuition rate downwards to $138, more than the in-county rate, but still modest, so that more students in other counties nearby can access our offerings. And we're going to keep increasing out-of-state tuition modestly as well to $238 per credit. And we're keeping that special rate for Middlesex County resident high school students low, but we haven't raised it in 4 years. We're going to modestly adjust it upward to $150 per course, which is still less than the cost of a regular 3 or 4 credit course. And it means that students taking those courses can realize great savings and get ahead toward credits toward college, either here at Middlesex College after they graduate from high school, and or to any other institution in New Jersey to accept our credits in transfer. And then for those 3 standard fees, $3 increase on the general fee, $2 increase on the student services fee, and $3 per credit for the tech fee. We also have an online course fee that supports technology that students use in online learning. Hasn't been raised in several years. We're also modestly adjusting that upwards as well. What this does not show, we'll talk about in a minute, is these are the standard fees for either every course, general, student services and tech, or for online courses in particular. That's a one-time charge per online course. But we also have some courses that have a course-specific or program-specific fee. And those are evaluated by the VP of Academic Affairs, Dion Miller, deans and department chairs based on the actual costs that are supported. Next slide. I'll come back to that in a minute. So this is a comparison chart that goes along with the earlier chart that showed tuition. In this chart, the tuition is still the blue, but the orange part of each bar is those 3 mandatory fees. And as you see, when you combine the two, tuition and standard fees, Middlesex is the 5th from the lowest right now in the current fiscal year, 25-26. But if you look at Ocean, Middlesex, Bergen, we're also the same. So we're really tied for 4th lowest. Again, a very low cost compared to many other colleges. And if you look at the colleges that are around us here in Central Jersey, to the far right, you see Union, and you see Mercer, and you see Raritan, and you see Brookdale. Those are the 4 counties surrounding us. Brookdale represents Monmouth County, Raritan Valley represents Somerset and Hunterdon counties, and those colleges all charge significantly more tuition and fees combined than Middlesex College does. Next slide. So back to course fees. So there is a list of course fees posted on our website, and I'll give you some examples. So for example, if you take a science lab course, there probably are consumable items in that lab course. So in a bio course, there might be a frog to dissect, right? And we have to pay for the frog and for the staff person who sets up the lab and cleans up after. And so these course fees, course specific fees, do supplement the costs required to educate students in a particular course. Think about a theater course where part of the work is to go to New York and see a show as part of your learning. The trip to New York, the bus, the cost of the tickets for the Broadway show, and any meals is also built into the course fee. So that, again, it may not charge all those fees back to the student, but it lowers the burden on the college so that those students who are benefiting from that particular course experience pay for most or all of the extra costs associated with that particular course. And the good thing about this is if a student's accepting and receiving financial aid, think federal Pell Grant, think New Jersey Tuition Assistance Grant, think scholarships through the Middlesex College Foundation or other special scholarships, those financial aid sources, Pell, TAG, and scholarships cover tuition and fees. So for many of our students, 40% or more, most or all of their costs of tuition and fees are covered by those sources of federal financial aid. But we also have, again, 2 of these course fees, general course fees. So for nursing students taking a nursing course, if there's materials in those courses, including, for example, ATI testing, the course fee for that nursing course covers some or all of those costs. And then some courses have what's called a first day fee. We have a relationship through our Barnes & Noble bookstore vendor that if a student is taking a course where the textbook is lower cost through the first day system with Barnes & Noble, the fee then covers that, but they get the book delivered to them through the Canvas Learning Management System on day 1. So on the very first day, hence the name of the fee, students access to the book or the material, right? At no charge to them other than the fee, which is part of the course. Next slide. And you can take the slideshow down, Joe. Mr. Roger, that's the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. McCormick. I will entertain the question or comments on tuition and the fee from those attending at this hearing. Do we have anybody, IT people? Do we have anybody on the line?
Raise your hand on Zoom and Joe, our tech here, will acknowledge you in line and we can go through each question.
Then I can read the discipline.
Absolutely. Any hands up for a comment or a question? I don't see any, Mr. Roger. Do you, Joe? So if not, Mr. Roger, you may want to call upon your fellow trustees if they want to make any comments since they're here with us today.
Okay, our trustees can make it, and they know our discipline, so they know very well. I could see Chrissy and Mr. Taffet. Chrissy, you want to go ahead? You have a comment?
Gary, would you like to go first as the finance chairman, or?
I'm happy to go first or second, Chrissy.
No, go ahead, Gary. Go ahead. I'll go after.
Listen, the only thing that I would just add was I do want to say thank you for the comprehensive presentation. I think that it's helpful. I think understanding where Middlesex College stands in relation to its peers is helpful. And as a lifelong Middlesex County resident, I think we provide incredible value for the dollar. We know that education, unfortunately, is not inexpensive. We're highly appreciative of the programs that exist that help offset costs for a number of our students. So that's incredibly helpful, but for others, they do have to pay full freight. But there is a significant percentage that through federal or state programs are afforded a much more reasonable cost, or even in some cases at no cost. And so I just want to thank you, Mr. President, for guiding us as a steady hand these past several years with manageable, predictable, and notwithstanding the times we live in, relatively affordable rates, and certainly great value for what you get. I will say I'm proud to be a finance chair. I'm proud to be a vice chair member of this board. But I will also tell you that as I go, throughout the county, I hear from many residents what a jewel the college is. And so for all of that, and for all of the good partners that we have had, whether it's the county or the state government, I think we've been fortunate to manage these expenses and these increases, in a manner that does not sacrifice quality, is sensitive to the overall output, and is sensitive to the price. So, I think all in all, you've hit the mark that we aspire to try and hit in terms of quality, cost, and output. So thank you for allowing me, Chairman Raja. I know that you have worked hard throughout the year to also ensure that these costs are, held at a reasonable level, as have all the board members. So thank you.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it. Chrissy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As a member of the Academic Affairs Committee, I also have the pleasure of seeing the results on the student affairs side of the equation as well, and happy to report that we are trending in a very positive direction. And so while our expenses are going up like everybody else's are, we need to maintain the costs. I do want to say that we are also really coming through and competing with our surrounding colleges and really doing well academically, and want to acknowledge all of the faculty and administrators who are on the call here today, and our students are really benefiting for all of that. And unfortunately, sometimes we have to meet the times, right? And so that will ensure that we continue to meet the challenges of of providing the best education as possible, and still at the same time are still the most cost-effective option for our students. And as Mr. Taffet alluded to, there are still many opportunities for students to receive financial aid. And I know our administration is working very closely with our federal and state partners to secure additional funding, as well as our county has always stepped up to the plate to also be a provider of resources for our college as well, and as well as our foundation. And I know Lisa's on the line here too. So thank you everybody for your hard work and diligence, and still proud to see the college really moving in the right direction on all of our academic programs, and proud to be a trustee here, and continue to do great work. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman, Mr. Taffet. Dr. McCormick, I'm so pleased to see that our college has achieved the great recognition. No doubt we are I'm not going to say cheap, but least expensive in that respect. So credit goes to finance department too, your staff, your executive committee, as well as the professors, and the no doubt dedicated board members. Chrissy, thank you so much for your involvement with the state. In that, I would like to call upon Mr. Hoffman.
Chair Roger, I'd like to move exhibits MC1 and MC2 into evidence.
If there is no objection, I will accept the exhibit MC1 and MC2 into the evidence. I hereby close the tuition fee hearings, and everybody, thank you so much for attending, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Raja.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Dr. McCormick, everything good?
Great job. Thank you, Mr. Raja.
Chairman of the year.
Take
I'll
care.
jump